But the biggest thing about it is it's a culture of resentment. If you really asked them to describe one thing they like about these environments that they're going into, they couldn't think of one. Like if you asked someone who wants to fix Marvel Comics or fix the X-Men, and you were to say, can you name me one thing about the X-Men that you love? Like you're coming into this thing to try to fix it, which means there must be something there that is okay for it to be improved. Name me one thing about the X-Men you love. I guarantee you, if they were on the spot, they didn't have a second to prep for it, they couldn't tell you what they like about it at all. They couldn't, because they don't care. And it's one of the most frustrating things about it. If you were to say to somebody, what do you like about this group of people though? What's the thing about them that's quality? All they can say is, no, the whole thing is awful. And then you go, well, if you think the whole thing is awful, why do you want to come here? The only reason someone who thinks that everything about this is awful would come into a place would be to destroy it. In fact, I think it would be their moral obligation to destroy the thing, since they believe in their heart of hearts the whole thing is awful. It's very strange that anyone would think that somebody who thinks that an entire thing is awful would be interested in improving it as opposed to destroying it. It doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, it's pretty easy to figure out if somebody says they want to be a part of Comicsgate and you say to them, cool, what's good about Comicsgate? What do you think is great about Comicsgate? And they can't answer that question. What do you think is great about Comicsgate? Then they probably don't really care about it. Now, I don't care what that answer is, but you should be able to answer that. And the same thing goes with what do you like about comics? What's the first comic? It's not about a quiz. It's not about an entry exam. And actually, it's a pretty basic thing, right? It's not like people go, oh, I feel like you guys are, when you ask people who are gatekeepers that question, they go, I feel like you're trying to trick me. It's like, it's not a trick question. If you come up to me and ask me, what do you love about your wife? And I can't think about a damn thing to say about why I love my wife, I should get the fuck out. It's that simple. It's not rocket science, man. Good Lord. If you look at modern character designs today, they just look like people you could lose in a crowd. They're all wearing these kind of very toned down uniforms and costumes that all look the same. I mean, think about a character like Warlock. I mean, from the New Mutants, for God's sake. I mean, those are the cool characters. Sorry to get on a comic book rant there, but I care about this stuff, as you know. Yeah, but it's when I look at Hammer horror movies, I'm always amazed at how different and innovative they are. And then I feel a momentary sense of kind of, I don't want to say sadness, but just frustration that I have to go back even to the more schlocky and ridiculousness. And I love them. I say that with love. Hammer movies of the 1970s, to see something that I feel like is more original and interesting. Like it feels more fresh and exciting than a lot of the stuff that gets made today. And the same thing goes with comics. But again, we're going to have to make this stuff. We're going to have to make the stuff that pushes things forward, because it's not going to come from the corporate creativity by committee. And the new ideas aren't going to come from institutions where they teach by committee. It's just not going to happen. I really do believe things are going to change for the better. I do think 2022 is going to be the best and brightest year in CG, but we're going to have to work hard for it. We're going to have to make that happen. And we're going to have to create some of the best stuff we can create. The best counter we have for what people say about us is showing what we actually do. Comicsgate is about a lot of things, and it's mainly about individual liberty to create your own work. Yes, it's against Marxist authoritarianism and shutting people up, but the most important central thing about it is we make art and we make comics. I want to make sure that people are seeing that, and that they're seeing great work being made here that's creative work. But make no mistake about it, the average person who sees great work is who we're working for, not the person who's going to do mental gymnastics to tear down the creativity of truly creative people. And that's what we stand for here. And that's what we're getting done. Oh God, I'm painting where I'm not even on the damn camera. Sorry about that, guys.